guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is the second time I'm filming this video because I'm a bit OCD, but that's alright. Today we are talking about makeup brushes. This is another requested video. The requests that are coming in actually way back when I used to do my beginner series, so that's why I'm talking about them now, but also just because I got a set of beautiful fun makeup brushes to try, and I also wanted to share a bit about them as well. So I love using good quality makeup brushes. I don't have to spend a lot of money on them. I don't feel like you have to spend so much money on makeup brushes. I don't really care much about, you know, expensive brushes unless there is that it brush that I just have to have. But for the most part in this video, I'm just talking about my essentials in terms of makeup brushes, and my go-to brand is Real Techniques, just because I've used them for years. Back when I used to study in the UK, and obviously since they came down here, it's been heaven for me, or everyone else really, because the quality of brushes is so good and the price point is extra amazing. So anyone can get their hands on them, on good quality brushes that will actually make your makeup look good. So you'll see a lot of Real Techniques in this video. You'll also see a lot of color brushes. Color brushes are stocked in Discam, which are like so affordable. I use those around my eyes as well, just like 50 rand a pop average. And then I'll also be featuring some new makeup brushes, the oval makeup brushes, which are super trendy right now. I was sent a set, so I'm just going to show you which ones out of those sets are my favorite. I won't talk about the entire set to you, but while I'm talking, there will be a little demo as well coming through, so you can see exactly how I use most of them. Okay, starting off with foundation. I am very fussy with the kind of tool that I use, primarily because obviously you want your foundation to be extra flawless, and so I start with my Real Techniques Expert face brush. So I start with this face brush, and the thing with the Real Techniques Expert face brush, or any face brush that is designed like this, is that the brushes or the bristles are very densely or tightly packed together. So it's super good for foundations that are more high coverage, or even if you are looking for, like, if you are having a light medium foundation and you want to build it up, these foundations are great for that, just because it doesn't really move the product around a lot, and it allows you to buff that into the skin, making your foundation look a lot more flawless. And so I really love foundation brushes like this. If you do wear light coverage makeup, light to medium coverage makeup, you might like a stippling brush. A stippling brush is often duo fiber brushes, so they look like this. So apologies, this one is dirty, but this one is the Real Techniques stippling brush, and obviously it's meant to be white here and then grey here, but it has foundation on it. I was doing my makeup today, clearly, and I really like to use this sort of brush when it comes to very light coverage foundations, you know, your MAC Face and Body, or your Body Shop Fresh Nude foundation, or like your BB creams, your Smashbox BB Water, like foundations like that I think are really great for this. But particularly when I use my Revlon Color Stay, I tend to use my Expert face brush. Another applicator you can use when it comes to foundation is a sponge or a beauty blender, and I have the original beauty blender here. It is stained and old, but it still works. It's such a very soft applicator as well. Not my taste, because I'm quite used to the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge, which is much more firmer to the touch, but I do find that this is very nice to blend out other foundations, specifically the foundations that are medium sort of coverage foundations, not the mattifying ones, because I feel as though those dry too quickly for this to really be effective and blend the product out quite evenly. When I'm using foundations such as the Lancome Tinted All Ultra, I can use this sponge just because it's not really very drying and mattifying on the skin immediately once you apply it onto the face. You can sort of take your time blending that in, But like I say, once it comes to my Revlon Color Stay or more mattifying fluid foundations, I tend to use the Expert Face Brush just because it allows me to blend the product in much quicker and much more effectively. So going on to concealer, which is the next step in my makeup routine, I always use my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. Like I said, with the Beauty Blender, it's very pricey actually. It's about 400 rand for one, but there's so many dupes on the market. You can get so many makeup sponges for less that are just as good, or they claim to be just as good. The one for me is the real one from Real Techniques. This is the Miracle Complexion Sponge, and this is like 130 rand, and I absolutely love it. Once again, like I said, I'm much more used to the firmness of the sponge. I feel like I'm patting the product in where it needs to be. So yeah, I really like to use this for concealer. Another brush I like to use for concealer is the MAC 287 brush. So I haven't seen this on the MAC site. The MAC South Africa site is in the US, and they describe it as a eyeshadow shading brush. I feel like this is too big for my eyes. I like to use this on those no makeup days, and just to kind of blend in my concealer, you know, just to apply some concealer onto my problem areas on those no makeup days, and to also blend out this concealer around my eyebrows as well. Mine is quite extra today. But yeah, I really love this brush. Once again, it's a duo fiber brush, and I just feel like it's really great for those cream products as well. Obviously you could use it for eyes if you are buying it for that, and I think it's just really great with cream products. Yeah, this brush is pretty cool. So my favorite step in makeup is contouring, and I have for the longest time stuck to the Real Techniques contour brush. This came inside the Core Collection kit, which is actually you know, sold as a set, so that's about like 470 rand. It comes with a buffing brush, a concealer brush, and I think a eyeliner brush. I'm not too sure, I can't really remember. I don't think you can purchase this without the collection kit, so you might want to actually if you want a contour brush like this, maybe you'd want to opt for the Real Techniques setting powder brush, which you can use for almost anything actually. So if you want to use something like that for contouring, for contouring, you can try out that brush. I don't believe that this is sold separately. I'm yet to see that it's sold separately. If I am wrong, please correct me down below. But once again, this is part of the Core Collection set, and that set is sold for 470. But once again, I feel as though that set is worth it. If you are trying to buy your first set of brushes, buy the Real Techniques Core Collection set that comes with a foundation buffing brush. It comes with this, it comes with a concealer brush, and yeah, like, it's the Core Collection, so that's what you need. Another brush I use for contouring, specifically nose contouring, is the Bold Metals flat contour brush, and this I use for my nose just because it's really flat and angled, not angled but like sharp in the sides here, so I can really just get the precision line that I want, and then I proceed to buff it out either with this flat end or with this brush here. So yeah, this is a splurge though. This is about 400 rand. The Bold Metals collection, each brush is about 400, apart from the precision eye shading or eyeliner brush, whatever it's called, which is about like 2 something. So it's more of a splurge than a necessity, but if you do want your collection to look pretty, I'm a really visual person, so I like seeing this in my collection. So when it comes to highlighting, you can have 2 sorts of brushes. You can have a fan brush, or you can have a domed brush like this. I ditched my fan brush for this dome brush. I just feel like the highlight is so much more concentrated, and it's that kind of glow that you just see when you tilt your head to the side. I wasn't getting that with my fan brush. I do believe that there are fan brushes that can provide that sort of look, but I just think I had the wrong one, and I really wanted the MAC one. I couldn't find it online or in any of the stores here, so I just opted for this one by Inglot, and this is the Inglot 4SS brush. Inglot just identifies the brushes by numbers and letters, so but it is available obviously online or inside Edgar's and Red Square. This is the best highlighting brush I have ever used. It is amazing, and yeah, it just allows you to really just concentrate the product and really pack it in. Gives you an amazing glow. If you are shy about highlighter, I'd really advise you to use it very sparingly during the day, but obviously at night I go balls to the wall. My final face brush is the Real Techniques powder brush. So this is massive. And this is just a regular powder brush, but it's not regular at all. It's so soft, it's so fluffy, but I do use this for blush. As you guys know, I don't set my face with powder. I sometimes do bake, but I use disposable sponges for that. I normally just apply blush with this. And yeah, I really love it. Real Techniques does have an actual blush brush, but I have this one because it just, I don't know, I didn't feel the need I had to buy the blush brush because of this. Obviously this is much more bigger, so if you're uncomfortable with such a big brush, I obviously would recommend that you purchase the blush brush and then you can just use this to set your face with powder. But it's so big, I would feel like I'm wasting this brush by just using it for setting my face with powder. I don't know, it's just me. So like I said, when it comes to eyeshadow brushes or eye shading brushes, I don't really like to spend so much money on them. I don't feel like it's a necessity. So I get a lot of my brushes from Carla, which is a brand that is stocked inside Discam. I'll start off with the brush I use to blend in my eyeshadow primer. I normally use the MAC paint pot in soft ochre, or when I'm blending out my jumbo, my NYC my NYX jumbo white pencil. Oh, what's wrong with me? Yeah, so I like to use this brush. It is quite densely packed together, so once again it's quite great for cream products. Allows me to blend it in. I'm having difficulty really actually blending the cream products in after I've applied foundation, so I think I'm gonna try and actually just apply eyeshadow and this primer and this brush with the primer before applying my foundation, or maybe I shouldn't apply foundation on my actual eye area. Ugh, I don't know. But I'll try that out and see how it goes. And then when it comes to my transition color, I like to use this Carla brush, and this is just quite a long dome sort of shading brush, and it's just great for your transition color and applying it just above your crease area. For most of the time my transition color is always a sort of warm tone, so either orange or red, or that sort of undertone, so I don't really stress too much about having thousands of these. Another important brush I would recommend that you get is also part of the Real Techniques eyeshadow starter collection or whatever, and this is the brush I use in my crease. So there's a transition color which is just above the crease, and then there's the actual crease area which you can darken it, which you can darken and all that jazz. So I like to use this for that. This is quite much more flat than the color brush I just showed you, but it is still quite domed like this, and it allows you to really just get in that area and blend out that eyeshadow quite beautifully. And then when it comes to my actual lid area, I like to use a large shading brush for that, and this one is quite big. It's nice and fluffy, and it just allows me to put pack product onto my lid. On my lid I like using pale pinks and whites on there, so this is quite great for that. Not really great for glitter though. What is great for like glitter or like shimmer products is this brush here, and this is much more smooth but less densely packed, and I like to spritz this with a bit of Fix Plus before applying my shimmer shadows or my pigments or whatever the case might be. And then when it comes to having a little shadow on my lower lash line and smudging that out and smoking that out a little bit, I like to use this synthetic brush from Carla as well. Very tightly packed together, which means that my product is quite controlled and concentrated in that area, and I really like it. And then lastly, I like to use just a small brush for my inner tear duct or my inner corners here. I haven't done that today, just to add a bit of shimmer to these parts here, which I use with this. Awesome. Now moving on to the fun brushes. So you know, oval brushes took over Instagram and YouTube for like the better part of this year, maybe last year as well, I'm not too sure. So Artis came up with these brushes. Listen, for a set of Artis brushes it's like $500, which is sort of ridiculous. So obviously with that being said, there have been so many dupes to hit the market, and yeah, you can pick up oval brushes pretty much anywhere right now. And so I was sent a set of rose gold oval brushes. Once again, I said I'm a very visual person. I like the look of these brushes. I like having them in my collection, and I'm going to show you my favorites from the set. So I'm just going to stand these three together. So I use the sort of medium-sized one for foundation. You'll see me applying it with foundation now. It just blends in that foundation so smoothly. It is quite a rival for my expert face brush actually. I am still getting used to holding the brush. I do wish the wand was slightly thicker so that I could have a more sturdier grip on it. I feel like it gets lost in my hand. However, I do think that the bristles themselves once again are very tightly packed, so which allows you to blend in cream foundations and those higher coverage foundations in very nicely. And like you'll see in the close-up, it just blended in the foundation beautifully, absolutely beautifully. I love this, and this is actually inside my emergency makeup bag because I don't have a brush in that bag, a foundation brush in that bag, and this happens to be it right now. Another brush that's my favorite is this one. This is like a smaller version. Next to this one, the next in size would be this middle one here. This you can use for concealer, but I do prefer to use a even smaller brush for concealer, which you'll see me use on my forehead here. And this one is once again such a pleasure to use. It blends in that concealer so well, as if I were using my complexion sponge. I mean, for the longest time nothing could rival my complexion sponge, so I'm quite impressed with this one actually. Once again, I do wish that the wand was slightly thicker so that it wouldn't get lost in my grip. I do feel like I'm swallowing it, so but it's easy to just blend that in and have the product evenly distributed flawlessly across your head, but once again across your face. But once again, once I have kind of like patted that in, I will go in with my Real Technique sponge just to blend out those sides, because once I have foundation on, I don't like to move it around a lot, so I wouldn't use this to really move that around. I prefer dabbing motion, so the Real Techniques complexion sponge is what does that for me. This is the largest of the brushes, and this obviously is too big for your face, but you could definitely use this for body shimmer products and stuff during summer. So definitely if you are the body shimmer type of gal like me, then you'd like to use this on like your legs and your collarbone and your arms, just to have a bit of shimmer and sparkle there. So this is quite cute, and this has, oh hi, I can see myself. I actually used this to define my contour a bit more. I did that off camera, sorry, but really it just helped me sort of just define my contour a bit more. And for the life of me, I didn't think that I could use powder products with this, just because I feel like the product would get lost in there. But the pressed powder that I used worked very well with this brush. This one here, I was literally just able to pick that product up and just define my nose. God, I have to blend that out again. But yeah, so that's what happened there. I'll blend that out. So yeah, I really like this for contouring as well. So I think with the pressed powder product, you could do this, you could use that. Even if you are applying foundation with the pressed powder, this would still work well for you, I believe. But like I said, when it comes to concealer, I don't like to move around the product already on my face. So I actually prefer a dabbing motion, which is why I use my beauty blender or complexion sponge. Otherwise, that's it for now, guys. There are so many brushes within that rose gold range, but I will leave the links to where I got them below. It was Bounce Essential Hair and African Essentials that sent me the brushes. It's basically one company, but African Essentials focuses obviously more on the beauty part as well, but Bounce Essential Hair is more of the hair. But I'll leave all the information down below so you can check out the brushes as well. Are they worth it? I think they are. The rose gold set retails for 995 rands, and I believe they have a pure black set which retails for about 890. I'll double check those prices, but I'll leave that information all down below. You can have a look for yourself. Yeah, I think that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.